Imagine you're an office worker in a big company. You don't have a partner or time for one since you work all day, and you have a cat, a really big one. This is the story of Saku, who gets up like every day to go to work, takes the subway, and arrives at her office, where she meets her coworker Yuri. At first, Yuri thinks Saku is on a dating app, but in reality, Saku is looking for pictures of the biggest cats in the world because she wants to know how big hers can get. It's fine if she wants to become a cat lady. At this rate, she'll never get married. Yuri suggests her parents could care for the cat. Saku returns to Yukichi, her giant cat. After dinner, Yukichi drags her to the bathroom to clean up. Saku tells him he shouldn't be in the dark. Yes, the cat cooks. After dinner, Saku falls asleep, but Yukichi drags her to the bathroom to clean up. She finds cheese empanadas, but the cat wants them for tomorrow's lunch. Eventually, he gives in, and Saku enjoys them with a beer. The next day, Yukichi wakes early, puts on his apron, and makes breakfast, then wakes Saku for work. Yukichi enjoys watching his owner eat, but Saku recalls her friend's words, fearing she'll become a cat lady, so she drinks to forget. The next day, Yukichi wakes early, dons his apron, makes breakfast, then wakes Saku for work. The cat has his methods. Saku is stressed about her unfinished report, so Yukichi hugs her. While the cat stays home cleaning, he naps in the sun, typical cat stuff. He makes tea, learns a new recipe, cleans the bathroom despite disliking water, and prepares dinner. Saku calls to say she'll be late, while the cat stays at home cleaning and falls asleep in the sun. It's a cat thing. He makes tea, learns a recipe, cleans the bathroom, and has dinner ready for his owner. Saku calls to say she'll be late, so no dinner is needed. Saku is overwhelmed at work and gets a call from her cat, forcing her to work faster. She returns with a gift from Yuri, a cat basket. The next day, he prepares a gift for Yuri. At the office, it's total chaos. Saku has work piled up everywhere and gets a call from her cat. Apparently, he's upset, so she has no choice but to work at full speed. When our protagonist returns, she brings a gift from Yuri. It's a cat basket, but for Yukichi, it looks more like a helmet. Obviously, he can't fit in it, but he still likes it. So the next day, he prepares a gift for Yuri, just for Yuri. When Saku hands it to her, Yuri thanks her a lot because they're homemade muffins and they're delicious. But Saku downplays it, saying it's not a big deal, since she just made them, which is kind of silly. In the end, she admits that the recipe was from the internet. Taira listens to her talk about her cat and hands her the report she requested, but Saku has no idea how he found out, so he tells her that she introduced him to Yukichi, which, if you think about it, would be pretty weird. Then she comes home for dinner and wants to have a beer again. The next day, Yukichi goes out to take out the trash, takes the elevator, and helps an elderly lady who is his neighbor. Apparently, in this world, it's normal to be a giant cat. The elderly lady admires how much Yukichi has grown since the night Saku rescued him, and now it's Yukichi who is taking care of her. The little bee also gifts her some tea and nori seaweed, which she uses to make breakfast. Saku is still hungry, so she wants more, but instead, the cat brings the scale. First, he weighs himself while carrying his owner, then he weighs himself alone and subtracts the results. It looks like our protagonist has gained some weight. Abandoned on a snowy night, Yukichi with his last strength was rescued by Saku. That day, he made a decision. He chose the owner to accompany for the rest of his life, and if Saku hadn't rescued him, he probably wouldn't be alive. Yukichi takes great care of Saku because she has something very important to him, money that he can use to buy cat food. Even if she's a really careless person, the cat will always have her back, so he uses all his intelligence and talent for one single goal: food. Saku is lying on a warm bed while the cat washes the laundry. She's looking at some pictures of Yukichi when he was just a little kitten and has a question. Why is he so big? The cat brings the scale. Saku doesn't know how much cats grow. She is grateful. Yukichi remembers helping with chores. Her boss met him, which worries her because he saw the mess. Yukichi recalls helping with chores, so he thinks it doesn't matter how much he's grown or that her boss met him. She remembers her boss visiting with Yukichi when he was grown. This worries her because he saw the mess. Saku apologizes for the mess when he visits. She remembers the boss coming to her apartment with Yukichi when he was older, so it must have been when he was just a kitten, but that worries her even more because if she was here when Yukichi was little, she saw all the mess and crap in this place, but Yukichi doesn't seem to care. Saku apologizes because when he came over, everything was a bit messy. Well, very messy. And maybe Yukichi grew so much because of some bacteria he picked up in all that trash. Okay, no. Saku is still upset about what her boss saw, if he even saw anything that day. So Yukichi gives his owner a beer to help her chill out. just a little. The next day, Yukichi leaves the apartment on his way to the supermarket, where everyone looks at him without knowing what to do. There's a huge black cat in an apron, checking out which cabbage is bigger. If you say that out loud, people are going to think you're crazy. So one of the staff members tells her boss that the cat is back, and then the manager will talk to him personally to thank him for his preference. Apparently, he likes cats. The manager worries customers might complain about the cat. She asks Yukichi if he made it, and he confirms. She pays with a card and gets free cat food samples. After her shift, the boss shows surveys that customers like the cat, suggesting hiring him. Then you pay at the checkout, by card obviously, and receive some free samples of cat food. When his shift ends, the boss shows the manager customer surveys that say they like the cat in the store, so it would be a good idea to hire him part-time. After dinner, Yukichi is staring intently at a spot in the kitchen, and Saki gets scared. Apparently, cats can see ghosts or spirits, things that humans can't see, but it turns out it was just some grease stains she forgot to clean. At the office, Saku is working as usual and submits all her reports on time to the owner of the company. She's really relaxed when suddenly Kuro comes back from his business trip and wants to talk to Saku. They get in the elevator, and Saku is terrified that her boss will find out she's a really messy person, so she thinks about her cat to calm herself down. Actually, Kuro wanted to thank her for her work. She did it really well and on time, and thanks to that, they were able to close a $1 million contract. It must be thanks to your cat. But Saki gets flustered and asks her boss how he met her. So he tells us that one night he found Saku at a bar about to pass out. When she saw him, she threw up, so he decided to walk her home. At the door, while looking for her keys, little Yuki opened the door, bumped into his owner, and apologized for what happened. That's the whole story, but Saku asks if he didn't see anything about the apartment, so the boss says that nobody saw the dump. Saku offers to help him with whatever he needs to make up for what happened, so Kuro asked her to go to the aquarium with him on the last Sunday of the month. When she gets home, she tells Yukichi that she's going to accompany her boss to a special event at the aquarium, which Yukichi is a big fan of. While Yukichi is cleaning, he thinks about the source of his problems. His owner, who cannot do a task as simple as separating the trash she is going to throw away. Why is it that he's a cat and she's a human, and they're supposed to be the smarter ones? On the weekend, the cat approaches his owner urgently wanting cooking lessons. At work, she's known as a great cook and wife, so she strives to maintain this image. Yukichi suggests an easy dish, rice with egg. Besides, she has a reputation around the office that she knows how to cook and is a very good wife, and since she wants to keep up appearances, she will do her best. Yukichi looks for something easy for his owner to make. Rice with egg, something really simple since the rice is already ready. All they have to do is crack the egg on top, add a little soy sauce, and garnish with some green onions. But our protagonist doesn't even know how to crack an egg. She grabs it too hard, and the shell pieces end up all over the rice. Yukichi removes shell bits with chopsticks. Saku can't manage that. She wonders about the recipe book's origin. They're familiar dishes from long ago, the same ones Yukichi made as a kitten. She asks him to make rice balls like before, and she wonders where the recipe book came from. They are dishes that she knows, but from a long time ago. In fact, they are the dishes that Yukichi prepared when he was just a kitten, when he had to read the book to be able to cook. So the protagonist asks him to make her some rice balls like he used to do before. The next day, Yukichi gets up like he does every day to prepare breakfast, and because of a fly, he ends up breaking the egg on the table. Then, while bringing breakfast, he bumps his paw against the table, and when his owner arrives, she steps on his tail. As if that wasn't enough, while she's hanging the laundry, it starts to rain, and she has to wash all the clothes again. Definitely a crappy day. But the cat, to calm himself down, pulls out some treats and checks his bank balance. While watching TV, a reporter interviews Saku and asks her about her umbrella. She says that someone very special made her bring it, and she's really grateful. After work, the main character is greeted by her cat. One morning, she wakes early, and the cat thinks she's sick. He finds she has a fever and takes her back to bed. She needs to work. Another day, she woke early. The cat thinks she's sick. He checks she has fever, takes her to bed. Saku must work. Today's important with meetings and reports. She gets up, sneezes, feels cold. Saku calls work, gets half day off. The cat gives pill to help. She thinks she must do all to get better. Cat insists rest. The worried cat cares. Yukichi continues duties. Saku wakes, fever down, still weak. Uses Yukichi as pillow. Work gives day off. Sunday, Saku still in bed. Yukichi wakes her. Today's meeting with boss. Saku forgot. Luckily, it's 10 a.m. Yukichi continues with his duties, and when Saku wakes up, her fever is down, but she still feels weak. She rests on Yukichi, and they gave her a day off. Saku is in bed. Yukichi wakes her up. She has a meeting with her boss. Saku forgot. It's 10 a.m. Meeting at 2 p.m. It's Sunday, and Saku is still in bed. Yukichi wakes her up because today is the day of her meeting with her boss, but Saku had forgotten about it. Luckily, it's only 10 a.m. and the meeting is at 2 p.m. The cat prepares food, but it's just a work meeting. He won't wear a suit since it's his day off. She finds an old dress from a wedding. It doesn't fit, so she calls her cat for help. Yukichi uses his sewing skills to fix it. The cat packs food for the aquarium, but Saku decides to eat it later. When she looks in her closet, she has sports clothes and finds a dress. She's relieved, but when she tries it on, it doesn't fit. She calls her cat, and Yukichi, using sewing skills, fixes the dress. Before she leaves, the cat prepares a basket with food, but Saku thinks it's too much and says she won't take it. She asks him to put it away to eat later. Before leaving, the cat prepares a basket with food for her to take to the aquarium, but Saku thinks it's too much and says she won't take it. She asks him to put it away so she can eat it later. When Saku arrives with her boss, she finds him with a little girl, his niece Yum. Normally, she stays with her parents, but Kuro has to take care of her today. She came for the music show, but the boss isn't really good with kids, so he called Saku to look after her, making her sort of a babysitter. The girl is nice, so that's good. Yum has a kitten backpack, and Saku tells her that she also has one, a big black one. The little girl asks if it's the same as the one hiding over there, and while the boss makes a call, Yum jumps on Yukichi. He's so fluffy. Saku asks what he's doing here. Cats aren't allowed in the aquarium, but Yukichi clicks his tongue, and it seems he took the train. A few kids come over, and Saku thinks they've spotted her, but they actually just want to see the orca. The cat and the little girl are looking at the fish, but the boss comes back, so the girl goes back, and the cat hides in a marine exhibit. It's time for the Yumizi show, and Yum asks where her cat is, but Saku doesn't know. Still, the little girl wanted to see the show with the kitty, but Kara tells her that cats can't come in. On the way, she asks Saku if she knows anything about the musical group that's going to perform, and she says yes because her cat made her learn the choreography last night. Saku asks Yum what she likes most about Amiyusi, and she says it's the food. Keiru explains that this is because the group started as an educational program, with characters that gain strength from seafood. Aisaku remembers that Yukichi must know them because he loves to learn. She actually wonders where her cat is and overhears two girls talking about him. His owner tells him to go home, saying he should take advantage of the darkness to sneak out, but the cat says it's no problem and pulls out his glow sticks and light bars. The cat is a big fan. The little girl enjoys the show, and there will be a trivia for the audience so they can win exclusive gifts by raising their hands. Everyone raises their hands, including the cat, but they choose Keiru, who answers the question correctly and wins the prize for him. The little girl thanks her uncle Keiru, and Saku tries to hold back her laughter, and that's how the show ends. It seems Keiru isn't so bad with kids. He knows the things they like, so that's enough to win her over, if only he hadn't lost her. Saku and Keira look for her and find her holding a basket, saying that Yuki gave it to her. The boss asks who he is, and Saku explains that he is a friend they met while talking on the phone. When they open the basket, Keira notes it looks like his work lunches. The girl asks him to bring her cat next time, snacking and strolling until sunset. The next morning, Saku finds Yukichi asleep on the floor. She covers him with a blanket. When Saku arrives home, he sees Yukichi lying on the floor. He is asleep from all the effort he made during the day, so his owner covers him with a blanket and lets him rest. The next morning, the cat finds a mess in the middle of the living room because Saku doesn't even know how to make a decent dinner. Later, a music show comes on TV, and the cat can't help but dance to the beat. Saku takes some pictures, but the cat wants to delete them at all costs, and so the days go by, with the supermarket owner putting up a notice for the cat to work part-time, and her office friends asking if her cat gets any exercise. But the main character just says that Yukichi comes and goes as he pleases. He also gives his owner some nice back massages, but his instincts take over, and he uses his claws. And if you were wondering how the cat knows how to sew, well, it's because he makes his own special outfits for cat. It's already night, and Aisaku is getting home from work. But there's a problem. Yukichi won't let her in for anything in the world. It's because of her smell. She was petting a dog before arriving. When she tells Yuri what happened, she says that animals are jealous, but they can also be very affectionate. In the morning, as usual, Saku doesn't want to wake up, so this time the cat has to do everything for her. He feeds her, brushes her teeth, combs her hair, and gets her dressed to go to work, where all her coworkers compliment her on how good she looks, even though she has to take care of a cat, though in reality, it's the other way around. The boss interrupts her because he has a letter for Saku from her niece Yum. It's an invitation to her birthday party, and her niece insisted it be delivered. But that's not all. There's also an invitation for Yukichi. Saku hands the invitation to the cat, but his owner explains that they can't go together to keep his secret safe. Yukichi ignores it and looks for snack recipes he can whip up. What will everyone say when they see a huge black cat in the middle of the party? But it seems like there's no problem since it's a costume party. Yum is still worried that something might go wrong, and when she gets home from work, she finds Yum's gift, a little plush Yuki. The cat also knits him a costume and prepares snacks for the party. The day has arrived, and both of them are standing in front of Yum's house, unsure if they should go in. But the little girl sees them from up high and, along with her other friends, heads into the party. Instead of going unnoticed, Yukichi is right in the center of the party. All the adults wonder if the cat is real, and it seems the legend of a huge black cat that roams the streets and goes to the supermarket is well known. But when they see the zipper, they think it's just a costume. Saka talks to Yum's mom, who asks her if she works with Kuro. Her little brother thanks her for helping him with work and apologizes for interrupting her on her day off, but she says it's nothing. Her daughter invited them, and she didn't have anything to do. Wait, is Kuro her younger brother? It didn't seem like it. Saku is looking for Yukichi, but it seems he went up to play. Yum told her mom that Yuki is actually a really big cat, and they should have gone to her mom's room. I don't know if they know, but she and Kuro grew up here, so they could go to her room to check out some photos from her yearbook, or something. Meanwhile, Yum tells the cat to come up and meet her grandma. Yukichi doesn't want to be a bother, but the little girl says that if he comes up, she'll show him her exclusive Amu collection. Yeah. The cat runs up. When they arrive at the old lady's room, Yum says she can't see, then she introduces herself, and the cat greets her with a lot of respect. The grandmother is impressed. The cat has beautiful fur and looks a lot like her old pet. At that moment, Saku arrives looking for Yukichi, and the old lady tells her that she's very lucky to have a black cat because they bring a lot of good luck. Then everyone goes downstairs to sing happy birthday, eat the cupcakes, give the gift, take a photo before leaving, and then they head out. On the way home, they pass by a park, which is actually the same one where Saku rescued Yukichi a long time ago, and the owner says that when she picked him up, she thought he was a little pastry or something like that. When Kuro receives her birthday photos, she sees Yukichi and gets a little scared. Days later, Yukichi is waiting for his owner to arrive late at night. She will surely arrive drunk again, but this time she calls on the phone, saying that she fell asleep and that she will not be able to return home. The cat immediately rushes out to find her with a frying pan between his paws, and when he finds her, he's about to hit her, but seeing her defenseless, he can't do it. He picks her up on his back and takes her home on a very cold evening where the heater just isn't enough. Saka asks him where her kokatsu is, which is a piece of furniture with a blanket. The cat says he threw it away, and Saka asks him why, but it was because she fell asleep after drinking too much beer and left one of the cans near an outlet, which almost caused a fire, so it wasn't his fault. Taku tries to convince Yukichi to buy a new kotatsu. Saku can buy it online. The cat plans to destroy the phone, but Saka suggests bribing him with treats. Yukichi finds a raffle outside the supermarket. The cat has receipts, but only wins tissues. Saka doesn't need permission. She can buy it online. The cat knows this, and plans to put the phone in boiling water, but Saka stops him, opting for plan B, bribing with treats, catnip, and toys. Yukichi buys vegetables, and outside the supermarket, there's a raffle for a kotatsu. He has 5 receipts to enter, but only wins tissues. Disappointed, Yukichi returns home to find no one there. Fearing the worst, he rushes out and finds his owner at the door. Yukichi buys vegetables. Outside, there's a raffle. He needs 5 receipts to enter. The cat has them, but only wins tissues. Disappointed, he returns home to find no one there. He runs out and finds his owner at the door with a kotatsu. She won it in the raffle with extra receipts from a stranger while getting treats for Yukichi. The cat feels embarrassed for not winning it himself. Yusan, feeling disappointed, returns home, but there's no one there. His owner is nowhere to be found, and Yukichi fears the worst, so he runs out to look for her, only to find her at the door. The cat is really happy to see her and brings a kotatsu with him, but don't worry, he didn't buy it. He won it in the supermarket raffle because she had gone to get some treats for Yukichi. A stranger gave her 4 extra receipts, but the cat feels embarrassed because he didn't win it himself. That doesn't matter, so Saka sits her cat down to enjoy the kotatsu, and Yukichi gets up to bring his owner a beer so they can enjoy it together. He also buys a plug protector, and the cat falls into a deep sleep, putting aside the fact that Yukichi seems to be Saka's owner with all the attention she asks for and the way the cat calms her down. Saku has a gift for Yukichi. She brought catnip for him to play with like a normal cat, but our master cat, with the help of some scissors, puts it in a vase to decorate the coffee table. Days later, a package arrives at home. When the delivery guy knocks on the door, Yukichi answers it. The delivery guy doesn't know what to do because a cat literally opens the door for him, so he just thanks him and leaves. It seems like he's new because they never told him about Yukichi. At night, Saku comes home from work and finds the package. It was sent by her mother along with a letter saying they're worried about Yukichi. They don't want him to die from one of his silly antics, so they sent cat food and toys for her to take care of him. That's how he talks to his mom in the letter. Also says to send a photo of Yukichi every now and then. Saku's response is okay. Her mom asks for a picture of the cat immediately, so Saku tells Yukichi to act more normal for the photo, and she's concerned because she never told her parents he grew. The cat tries, but it's not enough. He needs to adjust to appear smaller. Plan B. Saku holds Yukichi, his fur fluffed, and sends a picture to her mom, but her mom questions the cat and considers visiting. The cat is prepared, while her mom questions her daughter. Her dad says Saku was always like this until the photo. It worked out due to perspective, and they took more photos. Time for plan B. Saku grabs Yukichi with both hands and fluffs up his fur, sending a picture to her mom. But her mom notices and asks if she really has a cat. She thinks she might have to visit to see him for herself. The cat is ready, as his mother wonders. But his dad tells Saku has always been like this. Perspective help. Next day, returning from work, her mom texts her about sending something not for the cat. Yukichi is shocked to find a sharpening stone. Saku rarely uses it, so gifts it to the cat. The next day, on her way back from work, her mom texts her because she sent something else that's not for the cat. When Yukichi sees what's in the box, he's shocked. It's a sharpening stone, but Saku doesn't use it much, so she gives it to the cat. After that, her mom calls asking what she thought of the package. Saku thanks her because Yukichi is really happy with it. Like happy if cats could cook. No, I mean happy about the box, because normal cats love boxes, right? Her mom wants her to send a picture of the cat inside the box, but Saku says he's tired. No, I mean happy about the box, because normal cats love boxes, right? Her mom wants her to send a picture of the cat inside the box, but Saku says he's tired. Why is fine, but she at least wants to hear the cat meow. But Yukichi doesn't meow. In fact, she's never heard him meow, so she tells her that he's one of those quiet cats. But her mom isn't happy about that, and it looks like Yukichi has to purr. The cat brings a bucket of water to use his new sharpening stone. Izaku wonders how he sharpened his knife before this, and the cat says he just used the cup. Saku is taking a bath, and when she sees Yukichi sharpening his knives, she gets a little scared. But with the new sharpening stone, his food turns out way better. After a work meeting, Saku and her friends have lunch. She's excited because Yukichi made her a special lunch. Her friends are a bit jealous because they think he's cooking like that to show he would be a better wife than they are. The main character didn't understand anything. In fact, she had never thought about getting married until now. What would her married life with Yukichi be like? The cat would help her with the housework, and in case she gets divorced, the husband would keep the cat because he would have a better salary than her. That is why Saku never getting married matters a lot to Yukichi. When asked, Yuri says that it is very difficult for her to find a partner, but she is looking for a man who will protect her and have a high salary, who will prepare her food and tell her to eat her vegetables as if she were her mother. That sounds really familiar to Saku because her cat does the same thing when she comes home. The main character hugs her, SOS/EOS, and asks if she'd stay with someone wealthier. The cat replies, yes. Izaku suggests she think it over. She decides. Izaku tells her to at least think about it for a minute, but the answer is still the same. So, she decides to study all night to get a raise. But Yukichi says it's time to sleep, and even though the main character doesn't want to, she admits that she's actually a bit sleepy that night. Days later, Yukichi and his owner are watching a horror documentary about haunted places. Saku was really scared and only watched it because the cat likes those kinds of shows. He unconsciously approaches Yukichi but tells him it's okay. He just wants a beer. Unfortunately, it's bath time, but Saku wants her beer to help her not be so scared and begs because she really doesn't want to take a bath. So, Yukichi gives her a rubber duck to keep her company. Saku feels the cat treats her, but her fear is gone. Suddenly, a shadow appears. She falls out of the tub. It was Yukichi. Saku washes her hair with her eyes closed, thinking if she opens them, she'll see a ghost. She should act like an adult. Ghosts don't exist. So she opens her eyes, sees another shorter figure, but it's Yukichi with a scale. When she gets out of the bath, she wants a cold beer while warm. Don't try this at home. The cat dries her hair, and Saku tells him to come to bed so she won't be cold. But she can't sleep. Hears a noise, thinks it's a ghost. When she finally gets out of the bath, she wants to have her cold beer while her body is warm. Don't try this at home. The cat helps her dry her hair. and Saka tells him to come to bed with her so she won't be so cold. But it's impossible. She can't sleep because she hears a noise in the living room and thinks it's a ghost. The cat goes to check because he heard it too, and after a while, he still hasn't come back. When the main character goes out to look for him, she finds him trying to drink water straight from the faucet. When the lights come on, the cat acts like nothing happened, but it's clear that something went down. So, the cat tries to bribe him, but it doesn't work. After all, this is also his house, and it's normal behavior for a cat, so he can just chill. In fact, he was a little scared because of the horror show they had seen, but that had nothing to do with it, and the cat loses the little respect he had for his owner. Saka laughs at an Instagram profile of cute cats. Yukichi is sad, but Saka says it's not what he thinks. Kuro asks about her cat and learns on social media. Yukichi stands, warming up for normal cat stuff. He pulls a nail file, looking like a guitarist. Saka says he needn't be normal, but Yukichi will jump over bottles. Do cats do that? The main character is confused, checking her phone as the cat pouts. Saka says it's not necessary for him to be a normal cat, but now Yukichi is going to jump over some bottles without knocking any over. But do normal cats even do that? The main character is really confused, so she keeps checking her phone while the cat pouts. Wait, do cats actually pout? The main character is very confused, so she keeps checking her phone and the cat pouts at her. Wait, cats do pout, right? Well, one thing Saka is sure of is that for every owner, their cat is the cutest in the world. And when she hears this, Yukichi prepares a feast for her, and his food really is the best in the world. The next day, Saka wakes up really late, so she just grabs some coffee, but she trips and spills it on the wall. The cat looks shocked, but it's all good because Yukichi had installed extra wallpaper for situations like this. When Saka leaves, the cat starts replacing the wallpaper. Since the coffee also spilled on one of the furniture pieces, the cat takes some measurements and builds a little wardrobe. When Saka gets home from work, she finds the wall clean and the new furniture in place. She is amazed by her cat's skills, and once everything is tidy, she feels really happy with the home she has. The cat offers her more food, and our main character thinks that every time something breaks, she always ends up getting something better in return. Yukichi explains to us that the mess in the house is a reflection of the mess in the mind, so you need to clean every day. But if it's too clean, it reminds you of a prison, and the home should be a place to relax and recharge. Too much simplicity can drive you crazy, especially if you have a weak mindset, so it should be well lit and decorated while maintaining a balance. And still, our main character is getting lazier every day and doesn't want to go to work.
But the cat knows a solution for this. On his way to the supermarket, Yukichi passes by the park and finds a box that says "Take me home." When he gets closer to see what's inside, he finds Yum sleeping. The cat wakes her up, and the girl recognizes him. She tells him she's looking for a home, but not for herself, rather for this little kitten. The little girl wants to keep him, but she can't have pets at home, and her grandmother can't take care of him because she can't see very well. Yukichi tries to get her out of the box, but can't, so he lies down next to them. The kitten jumps on Yukichi, hungry, Yum asks, to give him milk, but it's better to buy some with a bottle. Yum feeds him, feeling sad because she wants to keep him. She imagines feeding him daily. Yukichi takes them to his apartment, asking a neighbor to adopt the kitten. She helps find a new owner. Yum feeds him, feeling sad because she wants to keep him. She imagines feeding him daily and sleeping together. Yukichi takes them to his apartment and asks a neighbor to adopt the kitten. She's too old to care for it, but helps find a new owner. Yukichi takes Yum home. Yukichi takes them to his apartment, where he asks his neighbor if she can adopt the kitten. She's very old and can't take care of it. Still, she uses her phone to help find him a new owner. Yukichi takes Yum home. At that moment, her mom arrives. Yum tells her mom that Yukichi helped her find a home for the kitten, and her mom thanks him for taking care of both of them. Yukichi takes Yum home, but she stops and asks the cat if the kitten will remember her, which makes her very sad, and she starts to cry. At that moment, her mom arrives, having been looking for her all day. Yum tells her mom that Yuki helped her find a home for the kitten, and her mom thanks him for taking care of both of them. The grandma wonders if the kitten could grow as big as Yukichi, but the joy fades when they see a notice about a pervert in the neighborhood. The neighbor tells him that he should pick up Saku at the station because she usually comes back late from work, but the cat is really scared. He goes to the supermarket to buy pepper spray, and Ryo, the store manager, thinks there's a woman inside the cat costume. Night falls, and it's getting really late. Saku still hasn't come back, so Yukichi grabs a frying pan and heads out to look for her. Near the park, he hears some screams for help and rushes over. It's Ryo struggling with her ex-boyfriend. Yukichi approaches, and the guy thinks he's a bear and tries to separate him from Ryo. Still, The guy isn't scared and is about to hit Yukichi when suddenly Saku appears from the shadows and takes the guy down. In a matter of seconds, she pulls out her camera and starts recording. She tells him that she'll take him to the police station if he doesn't leave right now. Luckily, the guy wasn't that strong. Saku asks if they're okay, and Ryo thanks her for her help. The main character is surprised that he knows her cat, but it's because he works at the supermarket. There's no more time to talk because the police are coming. Saku pushes Yukichi because he's still in shock from everything that happened, and Rila says not to worry, she'll take care of it. She's really blushing. When they get home, the cat is sitting in a corner with his ears down. He feels this way because he didn't help, but all that fighting made our main character hungry, so the masterful cat feels useful again. The next day, Ryo tells her boss that she knows the cat's name, but she doesn't share it because it's private information. That same afternoon, Yukichi remembers the night Saku rescued him from the street. That day, she gave him the name Yukichi, which strangely seemed to fit him, and he knew he would become a house cat. But when they got to the apartment, the cat found everything filled with trash. It was definitely much warmer and safer than living on the street. When the main character looks for something to feed him, she only finds expired food. The cat senses danger and tries to run away, but he bumps into some boxes that are about to crush him, and Saku protects him with her body. The cat explains to us why this human is protecting him, while the main character goes to buy cat food at the store, and Yukichi falls asleep. When he wakes up, he finds himself in a bed with food and milk, while Saku is sleeping in a corner with just a pillow and one blanket. The cat feels very grateful and eats a little to regain his strength. The next day, Zaka wakes up late and fell asleep in her uniform, so she needs to take a shower. But when she goes to the bathroom, there's a cockroach. The main character quickly looks for the insecticide, but Yukichi takes care of the threat effectively. Saka takes a shower and leaves, promising to buy him more things when she gets back. After eating and sleeping, Yukichi regained his strength to clean up a bit before his owner comes back. Yukichi is cleaning the house when he gets a call from the main character. She's not coming home for dinner that night because she has a work meeting where everyone is toasting with the company director. They ended really late, and even though Saku drank a lot, it seems like it didn't hit her, and she comes back home. But when she opens the door, we find out she's completely wasted. The cat drags her to the living room and makes a hearty clam chowder to help with her hangover. Then, with the help of some wet wipes, she removes her makeup and makes her take a shower, hoping she doesn't fall. Then she gives her ramen candies for glucose, a rooibos tea before bed, a full body massage, and a facial mask for her skin. She prepares everything for the next day and can finally rest. In the morning, she greets her owner with a healing breakfast, and when she gets to work, she looks flawless, unlike Yuri, who thinks her friend has some kind of modified liver, but she just used ramen candies. Still, it's really strange because there isn't a single cat hair on her outfit. The main character explains that it's because Yukichi likes to play with lint rollers. After a long day at work, the smell of beef stew draws our main character in. She can even smell that he used a new fabric softener and that he was napping in the sun. It's impressive. Yukichi is cleaning when doorbell rings. Neighbor brings schedule. They meet volunteers, ask him to come. Cat arrives at park, surprising everyone with size. They offer gloves. Yukichi has his own. Neighbor, Mei, is asked if she knows him. She says Yukichi excels at cleaning and trimming bushes. Cleanup ends, they play cricket. Gift him a hammer as thanks. They ask Mei if she knows him. She says Yukichi is good at cleaning. They finish and play cricket. As thanks, they gift him a hammer. Yukichi steps on Dai, a kitten. He doesn't recognize her. The cleaning is over in no time, so they start a game of cricket, and for his help they give him a hammer. Yukichi steps on Dai's tail, a kitten his neighbor is caring for. The neighbor explains she's watching Dai while her family is away. Yukichi decides to care for her. Dai gets bored and plays with her tail, then leaps back to Yukichi. The neighbor says she's taking care of her because her family is away on a trip, but she needs to step out for a bit, so she asks the cat to put her in her cage. But that's impossible, so Yukichi will take care of her. While the neighbor is outside, the cat gets bored because there's nothing to do, so he looks for some toys in the bag. Dai starts playing with her tail and shoots off without getting hurt, then leaps back toward Yukichi. Over and over again, she's a really playful little kitten. When Mrs. May arrives, she finds them sleeping together near the window. Over and over again, she's a really playful little kitten. When Mrs. May arrives, she finds them sleeping together by the window. Saku comes home from work and hugs him tightly. Normally, she would scold her, but something about the main character reminds her of Dai, so she feels comfortable. At home, Dai tries to stand on her hind legs while her owners take pictures. But when Saku tries to play with Yukichi, let's just say he's a pro. At work, Yuri is chatting with Oshiro. They're waiting for Saku to have lunch, and the gossip starts rolling, and since many of their co-workers are asking if the main character is single, she's beautiful, skilled, and a great cook. She can even drink a lot without it affecting her. She's on another level. But it wasn't always like this. Since 3 years ago, when she first started, she was very shy and apologized all the time. But one day, she started bringing homemade rice balls to eat, and she looked really happy. Little by little, she began to work better and improved her personal image. What could those rice balls have? Nobody knows, but Yuri isn't surprised. She knew her long before they worked together. They used to take the same train. Back then, she admired her because she seemed really focused, but she found out that she was just sleeping standing up, without holding on, and she never fell over. He kept watching her for a while, and even one day he protected her from a pervert, twisting his arm and taking him on the way to the station. After that, he invited her to dinner as a thank you, and as soon as he found out where she worked, he sent in his resume. Isn't she just too perfect? She must have some kind of flaw, don't you think? Isn't it like living with a giant cat? Or what? Saku is at work chatting with Yuri about the trip the company is going to take. The main character had completely forgotten about it. This is the first year she'll be attending because last year Yukichi was still a kitten. She was even thinking about skipping it this year, but her co-workers insisted too much. Since her cat has grown up, he can stay home alone for a night. The main character hasn't traveled in a long time. In fact, the last time she traveled was for her high school graduation trip. When he gets home, he tells Yukichi that he will be away for 2 days and asks him if he needs him to buy him anything. But the cat can go to the supermarket. If he needs it, he can call him on his phone. But Yukichi can ask the neighbor for help. Saku wants to leave him some extra money, but Yukichi has a credit card. He's ready for anything. Saku looks for her travel gear and asks the cat to help her get organized. It seems like Saku is the one who will struggle with this trip since she relies on him a lot and can't sleep well because of it. So the cat gives her some affection to help her feel better. When the day of the trip arrives, Saku doesn't want to leave. She won't have Yukichi's food for 2 whole days. But before the cat leaves, he gives her a piece of paper. Could it be a letter? Maybe the cat will miss her as much as she misses him. She feels drained, but tells Oshiro she is not excited about the trip. Everyone on the bus saw her list of activities, so they figured it out. He feels like he's lost all energy, but the protagonist tells him that she's not excited about the trip. But everyone on the bus saw that she had a list of activities, so they discovered her. In fact, all Yukichi had written on the list were things that his owner liked. I'm sure he did it because the main character didn't feel like traveling and regrets leaving him behind. When they arrive, Saku misses her cat. Yukichi sleeps by her clothes for her scent. He goes to his owner's room and sleeps next to her clothes because they still smell like her. Then he cleans himself with a lint roller and watches a perfect recipe on TV to cook. He takes a nap and gets bored, so he heads to the supermarket to buy dinner. Real finds him, and before he leaves, he gives him a free sample of beer. He says he shouldn't eat cat food because he still thinks it's a disguise and walks away. When he gets home, he still misses his owner, so he cleans the whole house again. On the other hand, Saku is out for a walk with her friends and finds some wet wipes and band-aids that Yukichi put in her backpack. You're awesome. Yukichi approaches a store to buy an extra large apron, and his friends think it will be a bit too big for him. It's dinner time, and the principal has already passed out. Kuro asks Saku if she wants to drink more, but she decides it's better to step outside for some fresh air. She's completely drunk, so she takes a bit of water, deeply missing Yukichi's food. Her boss is going to check if she's okay. She drank really fast, so she thought she would be super drunk, but our main character is really good at pretending. Then she asks about her cat, and our main character gets all worked up. Nothing happened to him, but he must be better off without her. Kuro says that's not true, since cats are very attached to their homes, but Saku doesn't hear her because she fell asleep. Kuro had no choice but to carry her to her room because she couldn't even walk. Her friends are shocked to see her in that state, when suddenly she wakes up. Saku looks for her phone. She's going to call her cat. Her friends don't know what to do. And at home, Yukichi answers the phone. He tells her he misses her and that she'll be back home soon. The cat purrs in response, which moves the protagonist, and she says goodbye. Oshiro is recording absolutely everything, and our main character starts to roll around, begging to go home, and falls asleep again. This time, the cat will sleep with one of his owner's sweaters on his head. The next morning, our main character wakes up with a terrible hangover. Her friends tell her that she was acting really strange yesterday. Izaku just apologizes, saying she'll feel better when she gets back home, but there's still half a day of travel left. Our main character comes back exhausted and hungover. I wonder if Yukichi missed her. It seems so, and they sleep together as usual. Yukichi wakes up early every day to prepare his owner's lunch. He's an excellent cat, unlike Saku, who doesn't want to go to work, and the cat has to get her ready, so she stays healthy and works hard today. But the main character wants to take the day off and pet her cat. But since today is payday, it's time to celebrate, so the cat can put up with her a little longer, but comes home drunk as always. Saku's dinner is interrupted by her skirt clasp breaking. She didn't fasten it properly. The cat takes her to the scale. She's gained weight. The cat refuses more food, but Saku promises to exercise. She blames co-workers and plans to be more active. Saku sets an alarm to walk to work but oversleeps. At the office, co-workers thank her with sweets she can't resist. She's gained weight again. The cat doesn't want to give him any more food, but Saku tells him that he will lose weight by exercising. He will surely gain weight by going out with his colleagues, and the company trip will go back to being the same, climbing stairs and walking more. And if he can't enjoy his dinner, what's the point of working so hard every day? Saku sets her alarm to walk to work and burn more calories, but she oversleeps, and a taxi arrives just in time. When she gets to the office, all her co-workers gather to thank her for helping them with their work and bring her sweet that our main character can't resist. And guess what? She's gained weight again. The cat is going to get rid of all the alcohol, but Saku begs him not to, so they go out for a run while the cat rides a bike. Yeah, on a bike. A month later, she only lost 600 grams, all thanks to her training. She doesn't need to change what she eats anymore. But the cat is super buff, so our main character is going to start her diet, and the two of them are back to normal. It's nighttime, and Yuri is coming home from her mom's place. She came to drop off some gifts she brought back from her trip, and her mom is thrilled. She really looks like an adult who worked. When she opens the door, she finds Ryo, her cousin, who also tells her that she looks like she works, and she actually does. Yuri asks her if it's true that she started living alone, and Ryo says yes, and she's really busy with her part-time job. Yuri says she should enjoy her teenage years because when she grows up, she'll regret not doing it. She needs to live love stories and mentions that there's someone she likes. He saved her when she was arguing with her ex. He's really strong and knows martial art, and Yuri imagines that it's Aku. She asks if she's dating anyone, but no, she just lives with someone. Ryo asks her how things are going in the love department, but she hasn't had a partner in years. She has bad luck with guys, and I think it's time for her to look for someone of the same sex. Ryo feels the same way, even if she doesn't say it, and Yuri tells her not to feel pressured. She should look for someone before she ends up like her, and she'll dare to ask her the next time she sees her. At our main character's house, they're both sneezing because they're talking about them. Another day, when the cat goes shopping, Ryo suggests that he should come with Saku more often. Yukichi also does some gardening. He has catnip, which is the favorite food of cat, and he prepares it like a salad. Just as he's about to eat, the doorbell rings. Saku wakes up and is really hungry. She finds Yukichi's food, and the cat immediately makes her spit it out. Wait, can humans eat catnip? When Saku looks online, she doesn't find anything useful, and her stomach starts to hurt. Yukichi tries to call an ambulance, but Saku doesn't want to. She's too embarrassed to admit that she accidentally ate catnip. Before leaving, the neighbor tells them that the herbs she ate are healthy, but they taste horrible if you eat them straight, so she won't be harmed. She just has to wait for her body to get rid of them. Since that day, Yukichi has been eating a special dish. Days later, the cat watches a show about owners who look like their pets. Pets resemble their owners. Saku returns from work with a headache, so the cat massages her, and they sleep. When Saku gets home from work, she has a headache because she didn't bring her glasses to the office, so the cat gives her some relaxing massages, and they go to sleep together. The next day, Saku watches the same show on TV and imagines what Yukichi would look like if he looked like her. He would be really lazy and sleep all day, but he would be a normal cat, just a really big one. It's Monday, and everyone in the office is exhausted except for our protagonist, who doesn't seem to be affected. Yuri asks him if he has any ritual for this awakening, and Oshiro says that he probably drinks some concoction, but he doesn't really do anything special, since on Sunday nights he doesn't want to go back to work like any of us. She can't stand Sunday. Every day isn't Saturday. Cat calms her. Paws soft, smell clean, wishes to take him. Tomorrow she works, lies next to Yukichi, complains about office job, dreaming of house, restaurant. Yukichi cooks, garden and woods, fears people mistake him. Protagonist wants beer. Cat purrs her to sleep. She complains about her office job, saying her dream has always been to live in a house with a small restaurant where Yukichi could cook and have a little garden in the woods. But if that happens, people would mistake him for a bear. The protagonist wants to have one last beer before going to sleep, but the cat purrs until she falls asleep. She still doesn't do anything special. She just spends time with her cat and hugs him a lot on Sundays. Yuri says that cats are full of healing properties. Their purring and the pheromones from their paws are therapeutic for humans and help reduce stress. I wish everyone could have a cat on their day off. Saku hears Yukichi making noises with his mouth. Lately, the main character noticed that the cat was humming Yukichi's music, and the cat sings it in a beatbox form. Saku wants to say something to him, but she can't. The last time she did, it didn't go well, and she just wants to enjoy listening to his beatbox in peace. So she tries to figure out how to ask him, maybe with a compliment or by singing along with him. A beatbox battle, perhaps, but she decides it's better to turn on the TV and start dancing. The cat notices, and instead of dancing with her, he corrects her to make sure she gets the choreography right. A beatbox battle. Maybe, but she decides it's better to turn on the TV and start dancing. The cat notices, and instead of dancing with her, he corrects her to make sure she gets the choreography right. While the cat kept making his sound, Saku gets home from work and practically collapses, but since it's dinner time, she eats happily, and Yukichi brings her the beer that Ryo had given her. When the weekend rolls around, Yukichi is folding the laundry while Saku just lazes around all day. The protagonist wants to pet her cat, but Yuki sits on her, not willing to be touched. It's Sunday, and our protagonist wakes up almost at noon. Yukichi isn't here, but his breakfast is ready. Saku realizes that Yukichi forgot his wallet. Maybe he's sick. Yukichi never forgets anything. They say that pets hide when they're sick, so Saku runs out to look for him. She arrives at the supermarket and runs into Ryo, who she remembers saved her that night. The manager thanks her and wants to know the protagonist's name. His last name is Fukuzawa, which means the cat's name is Yukichi Fukuzawa, and that's supposedly the name they would have given to Saku if she had been born a boy. The protagonist asks if he has seen her cat, and he's with her boss. Saku wants to intervene, but Ryo tells her not to go. The boss is really obsessed with the cat, so he shouldn't know any more about him. When Saku tells Yukichi that he forgot his wallet, Yukichi takes out his card, which he recently started using to earn points that give him discount. Seiko is impressed. She was worried he might get sick. She'd take him to a vet. With Saku's money, they can buy toys. Little Yuki wonders why no one picks up the trash. He wakes her, realizing she can't care for herself and won't last long. The protagonist leaves. Little Yuki wonders why no one picks up the trash around the place, and why the protagonist doesn't care about the state she lives in. He wakes her up so she won't be late for work, and the little cat realizes that she doesn't know how to take care of herself, so she won't last long there. If he stays, he'll sink right along with her. The protagonist leaves and leaves the door slightly open. The cat sees the perfect opportunity to escape, but at that moment, the neighbor walks by with garbage bags. Since the protagonist was nice to Yuki, little Yuki will take out a garbage bag for her. It was way too easy, and the cat wants to grab another one, but he should head back. The neighbor realizes that Saku left her door open, and the kitten discovers the name of his owner. Little Yuki is about to leave, so he will remember her name as the person who saved him. The neighbor closes the door, and the kitten enters immediately. He doesn't know what's happening. His body moved on its own, but it's because this place is his home. Izaku is his owner. Did the protagonist come back with cat food? Little Yuki has been eating a lot these last few days. Could it be because he's growing? At Dai's house, the little cat is dressed like a princess. Her owner takes some pictures and posts them, but when Dai sees herself in the mirror, she's not happy. recipe. That's not how her daddy dresses her. Yukichi tears up his costume, sees his owner's apron, and grabs it tightly. He stands on 2 legs as his owner films him trying to walk. Yukichi has the attitude but needs practice. During lunch, Yuri shows Saku a viral video of a kitten trying to walk, and the main character feels relieved, thinking it was Yukichi. Walking on 2 legs is more common than it seems. In the park, Yukichi takes care of Yum, who gives him a Yumiuzi keychain from Sea Bunny, a character the cat loves. It seems that walking on 2 legs is more common than it looks. In the park, Yukichi is taking care of Yum, and the little girl hands him a Yumiuzi keychain of the character from Sea Bunny, which the cat is a big fan of. When Yum asks why, the cat remembers his childhood when he watched television and learned how to cook. Yum shows him the recordings from the last concert she went to where Sea Bunny appears, and she's going to teach us how to make the most powerful food in the world, rice balls. Does that ring a bell? The idol says that rice balls have the power to lift others' spirit. It's a dish that even the little ones at home can make. Yukichi fondly remembers those times and takes Yum to her mom. Back at home, Saku asks for that thing to put that over there, and she talks to her cat to give her that thing whose name she can't remember. At work, she realizes that she forgot several words. She talks to herself because the cat is silent. She tries Shiro's advice and downloads a chat AI. Oh, she says it like it's not normal. But the truth is she talks to herself because the cat never responds. When she gets home, she tries out a piece of advice Shiro gave her and downloads an AI to chat with. Hey Shiro. But she can't think of anything to ask her. Hey Yukichi, what should I ask the artificial intelligence? But the cat can't help her either. It doesn't matter. The goal is to use her brain, so she's going to play a memory game with her cat. Saku starts but messes up, and when it's Yukichi's turn, it's a crushing victory, not just once, but twice. The main character wants to try another game and goes to buy some, but it's not fun if the cat keeps winning. At this rate, she'll keep forgetting the names of things. Yukichi won't allow that. They'll train all night if necessary, and then he'll prepare fish meals for him, a great source of DHA, good for the brain. In the office, Yuri made a mistake that almost caused a disaster, but they managed to catch it in time, so nothing happened. Saka tells her to cheer up. She can treat her to lunch, and Yuri wants to try her omelet. It's really delicious, and Oshiro wants to try it too. When she takes a bite, she loves it, and both of them want her to teach them how to cook. She's cornered. She'll have to reveal her secret. He tells them that he doesn't know how to do anything in the kitchen, and they think that he makes everything without a recipe, like a master chef. So when he gets home, to maintain his lie, he asks Yukitsvai Tozandi and Yukichi to teach him how to prepare his omelet. The cat has several ingredients but no measurement. He does everything by eye, and when he sends the recipe to Ushiro, his friend didn't understand a thing. Yuki wonders about other trash-taking cats. He sees his owner and sleeps by the door. He must take out trash early to avoid landlord complaints. He sees his owner, and even though everything is clean, he continues sleeping near the door. He remembers he needs to take out the trash early because if not, the landlord will show up and complain about him bringing out garbage bags, this one size. And the old man thinks he's a spoiled cat and tries to scare him off. He's annoyed because he doesn't know how to sort the trash, but this time he did it right. And Yukichi is proud. He knows he's not dumb, he's a masterful cat. The old man sees him dirty, so he's going to give him a bath, and little Yukichikito will never forget this. He comes back home all clean and finds a jelly that Saku is eating. Every day she looks weaker, and even though he helps her tidy up, his owner isn't getting any better. He stays sleeping by the door, and the little cat covers her with a paw. Saku pets him, and Yukichi wants to be bigger. He finds another wrapper and separates it from the plastic. She's going to open the window because it's sunny, and by accident, she turns on the TV. There's a show on Umiyasi where they say that delicious food gives you a lot of energy, and she's going to learn how to cook the most powerful food in the world, rice balls. Yukichi sees this and thinks giving Anajirai to his owner will make her happy. Since that day, he cooks for her every day and helps with her homework. For dinner, he prepares rice balls that his owner eagerly awaits, and since that day, he stands on 2 legs and cooks for her every day, helps her with her homework, and loves the Miyoshi as much as he loves his owner. That's why for dinner, he prepares some rice balls that his owner eagerly awaits. It was a pleasure, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.